Hello, I'm Carmen Tafoya, and we're here in San Antonio doing a socially distanced debut reading of a brand new, exciting anthology from Cutthro Press called PURO CHICANX WRITERS of the 21st Century. It's a beautiful volume filled with writers who have made a difference in this century already. We want to thank Cutthro, the Journal of the Arts, and the Black Earth Institute, as well as Pam Yushuk for pushing this and sweating for this and making this possible. I want to thank all of the editors that helped select from many submissions. And I also want to thank all of the wonderful writers who allowed their work to be involved in here. So join us for a short, masked, socially distanced reading from some of the authors represented in PURO CHICANX WRITERS. I want to start with a poem called Marked. And for those of you who don't know, pure things aren't always the most highly valued in every culture. And in the indigenous cultures, the most valuable of turquoise is marked. It has a streak down the middle of copper or some other mineral, some steel, some ore that crept into that rock and tried to break it but didn't. So this is to human beings who also have marks on them. Never write with pencil, mija. It is for those who would erase. Make your mark proud and open, brave, beauty folded into its imperfection like a piece of turquoise marked. Never write with pencil, mija. Write with ink or mud or berries grown in gardens never owned, or sometimes, if necessary, blood. And the last poem I'd like to share with you today is called Feeding You. It's a mother's poem. I have slipped chile under your skin, secretly wrapped in each enchilada, hot and soothing, carefully cut into bitefuls for you as a toddler, increasing in power and intensity as you grew until it could burn forever. Silently spiced into the rice, soaked into the bean caldo, smoothed into the avocado, I have slipped chile under your skin, drop by fiery drop, until it ignited the sun altar fire in your blood. I have squeezed cilantro into the breast milk, made sure you were nurtured with the taste of green life and cornstalks, with the wildness of thick leaves, of untamed monte, of unscheduled growth. I have ground the earth of these Americas in my molcajete until it became a fine and piquant spice, sprinkled it surely into each spoonful of food that would have to expand to fit your soul. Dear mijo, dear mija, dear corn, chile, cilantro, mijitos, this is your herencia. This is what is yours. This is what your mother fed you to keep you alive.
Well, my name's Ignacio Magaloni. Now, this pandemic, now that there's rumors of vaccines, time has snapped. There are new vistas, new possibilities occurring. We're in a new era. And these two poems are about time and the way that we live in time. I'll start with one that's called Only in Time. Decaying phosphor flowers drift by in hindsight. Pluck one. Take its story for days without suns. Press petals between your lips. Chisel in breath a relief. Speak bright, cold shadows that might last. Name it. hope is gone. Schedule a show. While it almost lives, marble arms swaying in the dark breeze of time, while their heart red pulses. This one is titled "The Future Keeps Coming." It has a habit of doing that. So sometimes we see universes spin out in front of our eyes like dangling rabbits pulled out of a top hat. And we walk onto worlds like paunchy, grief-mad Shakespeare's playing paternal ghost on the creaky wooden stage of our very own globe, distracting the audience from Hamlet's responsibility. How dare we dream when the orange lights on the fail-safe launch boards blink, 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 waiting for a go from the president. Or maybe he too plays his part. And all our dreams are yesterdays that never could quite come into being. And what we call hope is nothing but our regret, inverted into a transparent cone which, looking through it with our face in the wide end, reveals at the tip the future pouring out at the speed of light. Not any slower than that. It is a wonder we see anything at all.
My name is Joyous Winrider Jimenez. This is the love song of yin for yang. 1. Some things spin out of proportion. Between you and me is this place where giants become ants in the eyes of the beholder. We speak mountains about the other's molehills and leap small recesses in multiple bounds. I guess it's not supposed to be like this. In someone else's world, I was told they meet eye to eye on strange nights as rain comes down their faces as they breathe electricity and form new creatures out of stained and shadowed walls. I'm from a different point of view. You see, you want to make love to me in the rain, but thunder always leaves me shaking. In my land, thunder is the signal for earthquakes, not the result of lightning. 2. I'm weaving from behind this space-time continuum, and from this side, all I can see are knots. When I cry out to you, fair-faced one, for validation, you refuse to acknowledge anything but the naked sun. I need shade, so that the sunlight is less piercing to my skin. Instead, let it sing softly over me, until I'm a white noise hum, until my body threatens to exist without the rest of me, until I melt and surrender to a bath of love and light. But I don't have time to sunbathe. Most of my arms are holding projects, and the rest are rocking babies. Yeah, you included. 3. It pains me that our languages don't match. 2 worlds living in the same ocean, yet we're different fish. It's like every time I speak about krill, you think of them as food. And they're my family and my friends. So sometimes your stories hurt me, burn me bigger than I can say, though I don't, never directly, because I know that there's a natural cycle of life and that you can't help but be a blue whale, but it doesn't stop the horrific violence that flashes through my mind. I try to change the subject with, I have bigger fish to fry, to which the accusation flashes on your tongue, cannibal. But I've digressed into fish and food and krill, so let's replace those words with God, with country, with sex, with identity, with trauma, with justice, with children caged at the border, and innocents dying in the streets. 4. It's all too much. Carrying my world and yours too, so what if we just take it apart and start anew? My sky and your particular shade of blue. You will always have the power to say no, to deny me the right to this one tree in the center of our abode. But know that my heart will sing the freedom song in the middle of the night, my call for home, your ancestral war cry. And I'm left wondering, is this it? Is there no space for change? This eternal dance leaves me spinning, prisoner and warden in an infinite fight, sun and moon passing like strangers in the sky. Will your love always come with the piercing glare of 400 septillion watts of light? Will the unspoken rhythm between us always be, it's too dark, it's too bright? Thank you.
Hi, my name is Rita Ortiz, and I'll be reading Horse Tamer and La Higuera. Horse Tamer. A horse's black eye blinks back at him, answering a sigh somewhere in his memory. Cutting sugar cane beneath pale clouds, the chorus of chicharras dwindles. The horse tamer smirks, looks upon a third generation whose palms will never stain reins with blood, never to drip sweat on cornstalks. He cuts sugar cane in silence. Teeth searching my first taste, its thin honey dripping. The horse tamer smirks. Al rato asamos elotes. My grandfather's wrinkled hands, teaching you, eat what your hands harvest. His shadow and memory brushes horsehair, settles in the slate blue of every evening. La Higuera. Covering most of the backyard, it was a portrait. Leaves, trunk, and flesh. Ten cuidado que hay arañas. Las hojas te dan comezón. I guarded my bucket of honey rain fruit, a summer gift. Perfect green orbs. ¿Y todos esos higos te vas a comer? I churned their god flesh with my tiny teeth.
My name is Abril Garcia Lin, and I'll be reading a poem titled Little Beauty, Stereograph 1875 from the Briscoe collection. Long, smooth onyx hair, toasted caramel skin, clear turquoise pupils, unflinching almond eyes, exotic feminine beauty, indigenous youth displayed, commodities for colonizers. Forsaken sisters imprisoned in an inhumane zoo, dressed as natives of another tribe, products of rape, raped mother, raped culture, raped land. Children forced to perpetuate the infectious lie that natives are savage, that colonizing rapists are cultured citizens. Through piercing eyes, the strength of protective older sister penetrates your soul, reminding you that you, with almond eyes, toasted caramel skin, are a descendant of fierce warriors, indigenous to this land. You are meant to protect what is sacred, to use your power, your art, to heal hearts and reclaim your roots. Thank you. My next poem is titled Manny. I see you in the amber glow of the city lights at night. I hear you in the rhythm of Sanando music, Rob and Las Guaches. I smell you in the steamy corn tortillas of the west side of Molino. I feel you in the warm wind of Woodlawn Lake on a sunny day. I see you in the smile of La Chula Chicana dancing polkas with her man at the buga. I hear you in the rapid pulse of Sananto streets flowing with life. I smell you in the alcohol-soaked sweat of a musician after a late-night gig. I feel you in the clear spring-fed water of Paradise Canyon. rolling my toes. I see you in the rough brown skin of that suave pachuco at the back of the bar. I hear you in the tap, tap, tap of feet dancing to conjunto grooves at Rosedale Park. I smell you in the aftershave of the viejito smoking a Marlboro on his front porch. I feel you in the humid heat and searing burn of the South Texas summer sun. I see you in the vibrant colors and dazzling images of San West Side murals. I hear you in the gritos of los necios at the Spurs games. I smell you in the sizzle of burning meat at the backyard barbecue. I feel you in the embrace of a beloved friend that has been long missed. You never left. You transformed into everything that you ever loved. Thank you.
Dia de los Muertos by Victoria Valenzuela. Leave me lying here, 'cause I don't want to go. Veruca Salt. Later, after you get home from work, after someone wins the World Series, after we are lying in bed giving cariños, and after you admit you still fear the future me dying, and I admit that I still fear the future you dying, we say, middle age is not for faint hearts. It's after midnight on El Dia de los Muertos, San Antonio, Texas. I've built the altar for our antepasados. No pan dulce, but hay dulce, fruta y rosas. In bed, in our sleep, we hold hands. Giving thanks is done. I kiss your arm, our palms rub together, our legs extend interred as root systems of trees still in conversation. After we die, we've promised the other will be buried together, just like this, naturally entombed beside a sapling pecan tree, where our children can come and lay flowers. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Jen Yanez Alanis, and first off, I want to say how thankful I am to be included in the PURO CHICANX Writers of the 21st Century anthology. The poem I'm going to be reading is for my daughter Maribe. Purity of the Homecoming Dress. Daughter of skin born from a cleanse, we shall hide the octoroon in the Texas Census records. Great-grandmother will whisper that the grape carters were from Nacimiento, Mexico. Nacimiento de los Negros. But we have washed out the tight curl frizz of hair, lightened the deep umber of skin. But you want to wear the homecoming dress. We cannot hide the shape, the muscle. Your school counselor has made that clear. We cannot masquerade you in a skinny white girl dress. So you cry and toss dresses one after the other. You reject, rip away the cling from the curves, the muscle. You accept your school's rejection of your body. You accept Sacred Heart's rejection of your body. And I am powerless in your self-hate. But then you reach for your favorite dress in the closet. It slides over your head, embraces the circle of your waist, drapes with just enough flair to make it clear that your hips will not be ignored. You slide your perfectly manicured feet into 3-inch platform heels and you rise. You rise 6 feet high. The lift of your cheekbones, The angles and shape of your chin will lead you into that school filled with pride. So then, we shall call them back. Bring back the survival of escaped esclavos from your past. Draw their spirit through the gifted length of your body. Bind them to the caramel coating of your mestiza blood. Braid the strength of their bones through your hair. Hold them to the gaze of your brown eyes. Bring their ears to the flesh of your full lips, and you thank them.
Hi, my name is Lisha de la Garcia, and I am so honored to be with you today. When we come here as immigrants, we have our stories of growing up in 2 languages and 2 cultures here. But our parents, my mother, also brings her stories from her childhood here. And this is one that was told around the table at our house about the different mores of the times that she grew up in. It is interlaced with lines from Federico Garcia Lorca's poem, Verde que te quiero verde, who is one of my mother's favorite poets. Adiós from Casa de la Manzana, Mérida, Yucatán, 1949. Regina Villanueva. Note to Ramon, smuggled out of the house by my nana on Sunday before Mass. The night my father said no to our marriage, the thorns of the bougainvillea wrapped the wrought iron bars on my window to prevent my escape. My view is narrow between the thorns to the cobblestone patio and the moon's silver blade cleaving the stars. I hoped I opened the front of my nightgown so the sun's first rays could kiss my chest like you once did. That slice of papaya at dawn dripping from your lips. Verde que te quiero verde, whispers the flamboyant. Verde viento, verde ramas, la barca sobre el mar. My mother sent for the priest, locked me in my room, called me a whore, then locked herself in her bedroom. This child will be hers, and I can never see you again. Earrings of surrender and shame frame her face, fill an unbreachable well of anger at my father's decree. All this for the good of the family name, El que dirán. She will never let him touch her again, and I, as eldest daughter, will brand my tongue in silence. You must find another flower, a nail to drive my love from your body. The candles we lit in church to ignite our bravery have now become thirsty. I cannot escape the women in the kitchen making sopa de lima and cochinita pibil, singing the alphabet of love with Agustin Lara and Pedro Infante. As I remain hidden for months behind iron and round stones, think of me as banana leaves splitting in the wind. En adelante, notas falsas sudarán de mis dedos. I will hold a cucurucucú of the dove's voice on my tongue as I pray for you. I will only use words of love for our unborn child. Our goodbye, forever a stone in my mouth. Your love, Regina. Thank you very much.
Thank you for joining us for this special celebration of this beautiful book, PURO CHICANX WRITERS of the 21st Century. It's a great collection, and we hope that you share it and buy it and give it away to the people that you love. This incredible effort has poetry from the irreverent, the revolutionary, the rascuache, the refined, showing the true spirit of the Chicanx writers from this country and so many more. I'm going to be reading my poem, Afterlife. My dead visit me in dreams now, One cowers in the closet, slightly incontinent. One meets me in a restaurant that does not exist. Waits at a table we must have agreed upon in an earlier dream. None of us aware they are dead, that this is it now. We are calm, a little embarrassed. We do not speak. I wonder at the weather in my head now. Had to be something sightless, a depression, a hurricane to have such power to block me from remembering they are dead. Only a ruckus, a tempest could be so strong to wipe out the sandbars of grief, bring down the power lines, require rescue, helicopters, boats to lift us out of the calm eye just in time. I wonder at the fissures in the crust of my consciousness what the fault lines are. Like those underneath Mexico this morning, those that shifted, turned the school into rubble. This magnum opus, our dog, ashamed she dribbled pee on the carpet. My father, who did not like to wait for a table.
Loneliness. As a boy, I would climb trees, reach into nests birds would leave unattended. I would fill my hand with small eggs, and often one or two hatchlings would stare at me from behind the sprigs. There were times I wanted to take them home, keep them as my own, raise them. Imagine their beaks would one day open to call me Father.